Hi, my name is Sam Sloat. I teach at Trinity College in Dublin. I have a few copies of Ulysses, but my favorite copy would be my first, a Gobbler edition I bought in May 1988 in Middletown, Connecticut. It's somewhat in pieces and has some embarrassing notes in it, and a cigarette burn on the cover, but it's also signed by Hans Gabler.
Hello, Alison Armstrong here in New York City, brandishing my favorite of the many editions of Ulysses by James Joyce. The Random House, 1961, Modern Library. I used it first when Fritz Sen came to Ohio State in 1970 or 71 or 69, and we spent the entire seminar on this book. I used it many decades since then for the Joyce of Cooking and use it still.
Robert J. Seidman. I'm in my study in New York City in Soho. 2022, the centennial anniversary of the publication of You Know What. Totally addicted to the Modern Library 1964 Second American edition of Ulysses. Why? Because this is the volume that I used when Don Gifford and I began our annotations of Ulysses in the late 1960s. I've also it's become my Bible over the past 60 years. And of course I need my red velvet marker to tell me what page I'm on.
Hi, I'm Catherine Ebury, and this is my favourite Ulysses, and its centenary year, 1986, the year of my birth. Bodley Head, Gabler, Melchior, Step edition with Afterword by Michael Groden. I bought it secondhand for a course with Lawrence Rainey, and I've carried it with me ever since. I enjoy that someone has highlighted all the dirty bits in the Penelope episode in yellow highlighter. Thank you. Happy centenary.
Hi, I am Amanda Sigler from Baylor University in the United States, and this is my copy of Ulysses. It is the famous Gobbler edition, which I purchased 20 years ago at the University of Tulsa, and you can see that it is falling apart. I have taped it many times. Sometimes pages just come out like this. Other times I just take sections out like this and read them this way. And you can see I have color-coded it. So red represents comments that were made at the Zurich James Joyce Foundation. Black is for comments made during a graduate seminar with Michael Levinson at the University of Virginia. And then I have other colors for other places. I also stash things inside of my book. For instance, this postcard, "What is home without plum trees, potted meat? What is life without Ulysses?"
Hello, my name's Joyce Savage. I'm a Joycean based in London, and this is my favourite copy of James Joyce's Ulysses because it is the first one that I read. As you can see, it's the Oxford World Classics Jerry Johnson edition, and I read this first in around 1999 to 2000 as an undergraduate in Australia under the auspices of a very fine Joycean Professor Tony Thwaite. Held together this book, like many Joyceans' first copies of Ulysses, by a ribbon to prevent it from falling apart.
Hi, my name is Emily Schuck. I am in Claremont, California, and this is my favorite copy of Ulysses. And I got it for a graduate seminar, and it slowly fell apart throughout the course of the semester. And that is very much why I love it. It has notes from several rereadings. Ideally, in my heart of hearts, I would like to actually take the cover off and rebind the episodes like they came out in the little review. And I've always thought that a book that's falling apart is one that's been well loved. So that's my favorite copy.
My name is Flicker Small, and I'm in the Crawford Gallery in Cork in Ireland. This is my copy of Ulysses. As you can see, it's extremely battered. It fell out of the back of the car and had to be taped together. I've had it for about 20 years. It's got all my notes, all the stickets, all the underlinings, everything about food. It wasn't my first copy of Ulysses, and it won't be my last, but it's my most treasured.
Hello, I'm Sarah, and this is my favorite Ulysses. I bought it when I started my PhD, something like 9 years ago. This copy of Ulysses has traveled a lot. It carries the signs of these travels. As you can see, it's falling apart. It has a lot of bookmarks, different types of bookmarks, and lots of notes that I've taken throughout the years. At the moment, it is in Trieste with me, and I don't know where we are going to go next. Read Ulysses, happy readings.
Hello, I'm Nicholas Farnioli, past president of the James Joyce Society. I'm in my study here on Long Island, and was asked about my edition of Ulysses that I seem to favor the most. It's the Gobbler edition, and if you could look closely, it has many more divisions than the tripartite division that Joyce wrote. I have probably 8 or 9 subdivisions. Everything is falling apart over here. But it's the one that I use the most, the one that I go to the most, and the one that I think is probably the closest to what Joyce had in mind. I think Gobbler did a good job. There could be a few issues here or there, but nothing too significant. And that's that. What else do you want me to say?
Nothing.
My name is Nico Israel from Brooklyn, New York. I picked this here copy of Ulysses up when I was in Mexico, where I'd sailed from Bolivia. It was in a tattoo shop. It's been a good friend to me over the years. As you can see, the binding's broken. These marginal comments were not mine, they were already in there when I bought the book. Anyway, it's been a good friend to me over the years. Hello, Athos.